So I'm gonna go with my LA Girls Pro Concealer in Chestnut, and I'll be basically taking that on a brush, and I'll be blending that out, and then I'll be setting that with some baking powder from Makeup Revolution. It's the banana powder, and yeah, that's all I'll be doing for priming the eyes in this video. And then I'll be going this Morphe palette. It's the 9Ds, the Painted Desert palette. And then I'll be going in a fluffy brush, and I'll be using this kind of like auburn orangey shade, like in the top row in the middle. They don't have shade names, so I'm just gonna be making up whatever color it looks like. So I'll be blending that out all over my lid. And yeah, that's all I'll be doing. Really, this eyeshadow is gonna be like simple because it's kind of like everyday. And then I'll be going to my Juvia's Place, the chocolate palette, which is my favorite palette. And then I'll be going in with that first shade right there, the dark brown. And I'll be basically taking like an angled brush, like a flat angled brush, and I'll be creating like a smoky eyeliner. Yeah, and then I'll be like blurring that out with that sponge too, like kind of fading it. Okay, then I'm going in my ColourPop brow eyeliner in Grande, and this is like my favorite liner. I'm starting to like ColourPop liners. It's my first ColourPop liner from them, but I like it. And yeah, I'm just using that as an eyeliner, basically. Alright, and then we'll go back in with that Morphe palette I used earlier, and I'm using that gold color, the first one, and I'll be using that as my highlight in my inner corner to kind of like bring some like goldness to the eyes. I don't know, but like make it like seem like I have on a lot of eyeshadow, but I don't. Then for mascara, I'll be going in with the Essence / Princess Sculpted Volume 1. It's the purple tube, and I like this mascara because it makes it seem like I have eyelashes, but I don't. Alright, for I guess to add some glow to the skin, I'll be using the Fourth Ray Beauty Tumeric. And yeah, and I'll be basically putting that all over the lower parts of my face as kind of like a primer, I guess. And then I would go in my e.l.f. Putty Poreless Primer to help with my pores. And yeah. Okay, and then I'm going to go back in my LA Girls Pro Concealer in Chestnut, and I'll be basically using that as highlighter, and I basically be focusing on like the inner portions of my face, so like around where my nose is, and my chin, my upper lip, and like in between my eyebrows. Yeah. Alright, and then for bronzer, I'll be going as my e.l.f. Putty Bronzer and Sunkissed. And I'll be taking that on a brush, and I'll be basically putting that around the perimeters of my forehead, on the side of my cheeks, and then on my nose to kind of help as a contour, but I'm just using it as like a bronzer. Okay, so for foundation, I'll be using my NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop in Deep Sable. And I'll be basically taking it on the outer portions of where I didn't put any makeup. So, like, the outer portions of my face. Yeah. Alright, and then I'm going in my Makeup Revolution Banana Deep Powder. And I'll be basically kind of cleaning up the areas where I put that bronzer. Kind of like reverse contour, I guess you can say. And I'll be doing that on the side of my nose because I want my nose to look smaller. And yeah, and around my cheeks. And I did it underneath my eyes and on my forehead too. Alright, for contour, I'll be using the Black Radiance True Complexion. I'll be taking the sculpting part and I'll be adding like some powder on top of that bronzer because I don't want that bronzer to like mess up or like smear everywhere, so I'm just setting that bronzer. Okay, and we'll go back in that Morphe palette, and I'll be taking that first shade I used, and then I'll be putting that underneath my eye to kind of like bring the eyes together, like, you know. I'm so anxious just to feel the silence. It's so quiet, but I hear you saying to me, baby, said our time we're making up time. The times you wasn't really waking up. Now you never said I couldn't let you touch. Alright, and I'll be going back in that Juvia's Place palette using that first shade from earlier, and I'll be connecting that towards like the part where I did the liner, so it won't look like a big gap between, so like towards like where the liner is. Then we're going with my Juvia's Place Water 2 palette, and then I'll be going and using that orange, and I'll be using that as like a blush, and I'll be basically taking out like a blush brush from Seal Off Cosmetics, and I'll be basically using that as a blush. I'm kind of starting to like orange blushes on me. I don't know what about it, but I just like it. And then I'll be going in my Black Radiance loose finishing powder, and I'll be basically using that to kind of dust off that bake away from earlier. Okay, for setting spray, I'll be using a NYX Radiant Finish. I like this setting spray because it adds like a radiant finish to it, but it's also like give the makeup like a matte look. So it's kind of like in between matte and radiant, so which I like. And then I'm going to go in this Beauty Creations Cali Glow palette, and I'll be taking that gold one, and I'll be using that as kind of like my highlighter for my face. Alright, for lip liner, I'll be using my NYX lip liner in espresso, and I'll be taking that all over my lips, and then I will blot my lips afterwards, and then I'm going to go in with my NYX liquid lipstick in Teddy, and I will take my finger to help blend those two colors together, and then after that, you don't have to do this, but I just put on a clear lip gloss because I just felt like it needed a clear lip gloss. Alright, and that is it for today's look. I hope you guys enjoyed. All the products will be linked in the description box below. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. Bye. Take